Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review, and today we're looking at the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Obi Wan's Jedi Starfighter number 14 in the line. So I said in my last video I didn't know when I was going to do more of these ships, but I went to Target again and they had it. And this one, although it is available on Amazon, which link in the description if you guys want to check it out, I just decided to get it because why not? It was there in person and it looks good. Honestly, I went back and forth if I wanted this ship because I do like the Starfighters from the third movie a little bit more, but I'm not saying I'm all in on this line. I'm really not, but I mean, it's looking kind of like it at the moment. But anyways, this ship definitely feels like it has that $17 price point. A little bit closer, you know, it makes more sense. I still think 15 would be better, but it does come with the hyperdrive docking ring, which is awesome. So I feel like it adds to it. It makes the ship a little bit bigger than it needs, not that it needs to be, but a little bit bigger than it is. So yeah, I feel like it justifies that price point a little bit more than, let's say, the TIE Fighter or TIE Advance did. I still think the X-Wing, $15 wouldn't be bad because it does have a little bit of a play feature with the wings opening and everything. This ship does include Obi-Wan Kenobi in his younger look. So if you have Falcon, you have now both the older Kenobi and the younger Kenobi. So that's, I guess, awesome. And then we do have R4P17, which I'm sure is a repaint of R2-D2, but we'll do a comparison of that later. Both of them look great. Both of them have nice sculpted on details. Obi-Wan does have his lightsaber hilted on, which is nice. And yeah, so before we take a closer look at them, we're going to talk about the hyperdrive ring right here, which you do have to put together after taking it out of the box, but it's really simple because there are notches on either side, one right there and one right there. So this really only goes in one way. If you can't fit it in one direction, turn it around. If it doesn't fit in, put it the other way. Or you can just look at it and you'll figure it out. But you can see here is a little tab, here's a little tab, and you just slide it in like so, and then we have one end, and then we get the bottom one. Again, where is it? Tab right here, tab right here. So put that in and put that in. And an easy way to kind of just figure it out if you don't want to look for the tabs. The part that sticks out like this will be facing the darker end. So that's some advice on there. And yeah, getting it on the ship isn't the easiest thing. I feel like it's a little bit harder than it needs to be. The packaging just makes it look like you slide it in. And you kind of do, but you kind of don't at the same time. We'll take a look at that in a second, but just really quick, getting a closer look at Obi-Wan here before we move on. Just like the other figures, he can sit and move his hands forward. Again, he looks good. Not really much else to say. Stands a lot easier than some of the other figures, so he's going to fall over right now because it just said that. And we have R4 right here, which again, looks decent. I didn't even notice this until after I was done with the R2 and everything, with the Falcon in the review there. But yeah, the dome, aside from not being painted straight on him, which on this one it's a lot better, it shouldn't be a solid piece. It should be detailed, but I guess they just went with a solid piece on the top because it was easier for them. Which, when Galoob did it, they actually did do the detail because it's one of the only ones I actually do have. But anyways, let's move on to the ship. So detail-wise, I think they did an amazing job with this ship. That has a brown wash throughout it that is pretty even, pretty heavy in certain areas, but not too much where it looks like it's smudging. The cockpit is done really nice, really detailed pretty much all the way through. And yeah, just overall, they did a really fantastic job with the paint job. Same with the ring itself. The yellow, the black, and everything looks really good, though I do feel like it's a little bit too matted on the ring where the black is. It should be a little bit more glossy, a little bit more gunmetal, in my opinion. But aside from that, I think they did a really good job on both of these. So like always, we can open the canopy right here by just kind of opening it up. I think it's this side that has a little tab that comes up. Like I said, the cockpit on this one is a lot more detailed. There's a nice wash in there. Getting Obi-Wan in there is no problem at all. Just seat him forward, put him in, and we are good. Same with R4. We just grab him. He has that little peg hole right there. Push him in, and there he is. And if we want to eject him, there is a button right here to push him up so you can grab him a little bit easier. We do have the landing gear, which getting open isn't too hard. You just kind of grab it from behind and move it forward. A lot like what they did with, I believe, Luke's X-Wing, at least for the front one, which I still think is a little bit weird because you have to grab it at a weird angle. But for the side ones, you just grab it from the inside, which is a little bit more normal, a little bit more natural and easier to do. Again, with the front one, you have to grab it like that, which actually isn't that bad. So you can get it either way. Huh. Yeah. So, I guess no, no, okay, if you can get your nail in there, you can get it either way. If not, backhand like that, and we've got it. So, For attaching the ring, like I said, in the packaging, it makes it look like you can just slide it in, which you kind of do. You kind of slide it in there, but then you have to push down on one end to kind of snap it in place. And it goes on pretty easy. The only downside is that there is no stand with this, so if you try and place it, it's just gonna kind of sit there like that. I did get it to balance on a Tamashii Nation stand, but it was really difficult. It's not gonna stay there for sure if I want to display it like that. So that's pretty much my only complaint, is I wish there was kind of like a peg hole or something. Like if they hadn't added a thing to slide back, peg hole, stand, that would be awesome, but they didn't. Yeah, but it does add a good size to the ship. I do like it. It adds more playability to everything, more detail. You know, they could have really gotten away without having the ring here, but they went ahead and did it, which I'm grateful for because it looks cool. There's really no other way to say it. It looks cool. So to take it off, you kind of just slide it back, pops off. There's a little bit of a tab there, or a little ball thing right there that tabs into the bottom there, so it does lock in pretty good, so it's not just going to fly off if you don't do it right. You can see it's in there solid, which is awesome. Really not much else to say. Play feature wise, very limited, but it does have the ring, which although static, it doesn't really do anything, is still really cool to have, in my opinion anyway, because it just adds so much to the ship. It makes it so much bigger, and I do feel like it does add some more value than what we would get if it was just the ship itself. I would definitely feel like it's overpriced, but adding the ring, yeah, I can see why it would be a little bit more money. So for some quick comparisons, here it is next to the Millennium Falcon. You can see how much smaller it really is compared to it, how much different it is. It really is that flying Dorito shape, but it's still really awesome. Next up, here it is next to the Razor Crest. Again, looks good. Can't really say anything about it. It's just there. Here we have it next to the TIE Advance and the TIE Fighter. A lot smaller, a lot shorter, a lot more low-ridden, I guess you could say. Not really, because it's in space and it's kind of relative, but height-wise, if they were next to each other, yeah, a lot lower. Looks good. I don't have the only other ship that's actually from this era of Star Wars to compare it to, which is unfortunate, but maybe I'll find that one in the wild at some point. And lastly, here it is next to the X-Wing. You can definitely see some sizes that are really similar here. You know, the length-wise, it's not too far off, with obviously different because of the wings and everything, but it is cool to compare. Obi-Wan has so much space inside his ship, which is amazing compared to Luke in here, and pretty much all the other smaller ships. He definitely has kind of like a luxury in there with being able to kind of just spread out a little bit more, which is nice. Yeah, they both look really good next to each other, honestly, and not really much else to say other than. And here we have R4 next to R2, and they both are basically the same exact body and everything. Paint is different enough that you can, you know, tell them apart. Obviously, R2 has the classic blue, white, and silver. R4 has his maroon, I guess. Is that the right color? Maroon? Yeah, somewhere around there. But both look good. It's nice to have a couple of droids. Just, yeah, know that they are basically the same exact mold, which makes sense. And just because we can, here we have Obi-Wan next to Ben Kenobi. Both of them look really great. Same size as they probably should be. Beards, very, very similar. Hair, very, very similar. I mean, it is the same person, but that style has not changed. And yeah, they both look really good. Aside from the lightsaber on Ben being a lot bigger, a lot longer, both of them look great. Yeah, not really anything else to say other than it's just cool having a variation of the same figure, I guess. And with that, we're pretty much done with the review here. It is a really nice ship. I do think that out of all of the ones that are in the $60.99 price range, this one probably fits it the best, though still a couple bucks over what I would like to be paying, but overall, for what we get, it's not bad. What they fit in the packaging and everything, you don't even notice the ring when you pick up the thing. If you turn it around, you'll see it, but if you just get the ship and take it home without looking at the back of the box or anything and don't really know anything about what you're getting in this line, it might even be a surprise to you that you're getting the ring. So that is pretty awesome. I do think the ship looks really good. I'm sure we're going to get an Anakin one repainted at some point that'll be basically the same thing, but let's face it, I'm going to want it because it's Anakin, and yeah, that's pretty much that. Aside from that, not really much else to say. I guess we'll see whenever the next one comes up. Who knows, it might be the next video, it might not. I do have a Sonic toy review coming up. Finally, new Sonic toys arriving in stores, kind of, at least some play sets, so excited to do that. Maybe some Jurassic Park stuff, and some other random cool things on the way, but until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.